Question 19. In a supermarket, the probability that John buys fruit is 0.7. In the same supermarket, the probability that John independently, so I kind of think tree diagrams, buys vegetables is 0.4. So if I'm thinking two tree diagrams, I'm thinking two events. So the first thing is fruit and the second thing is vegetables. What have I got to do? I've got to work out the probability. So I know my answer has got a maximum of 1. It's got to be bigger than 0. That John buys fruit, or he buys vegetables, or he buys both. So I'm going to draw a tree diagram. I'm going to do one column here. This is the probability that he buys fruit. And my second column, my second event, this is that he buys veg. Okay, and he's got two options with the fruit. He either buys or he doesn't. Let's make this a proper word. He either buys, B-U-I, or he doesn't. The probability that he buys is 0.7. And I know the probabilities on these trees have to add up to 1, so this probability must be 0.3. Okay, let's go to the veg. What I've got is some options. If he buys fruit, he could either buy veg, which is 0.4, and I know these tree diagrams, each set of branches have to add up to 1, so this must be 0.6. And I've got similar options here if he doesn't buy fruit. So he could still buy veg at 0.4, or he could not buy veg at 0.6. And what I really should have done is labelled those before I put the numbers on. So this is buy, and this is not buy, and this is buy veg, and this is not buy veg. And personally, I would work out the probabilities at the end of each option here. And I know that if I go through the tree diagram, I multiply probabilities. So if he buys fruit and buys veg, that's going to be 0.4 times 0.7, which is 7 fours are 28. And there's two numbers after the decimal point, so it's 0.28. The second one down, he buys and he doesn't buy, that's going to be 0.7 times 0.6. 7 sixes are 42, and there's two numbers after the decimal point, so it's 0.42. Next one, 0.3 times 0.4. 3 times 4 is 12. Two numbers after the decimal point, so 0.12 to get my two numbers after the decimal point. And then 0.3 times 0.6 for the final one. 6 threes are 18. Two numbers after the decimal point. So here I've got my four values for my 4 options. Now I go back to the question, work out the probability that John buys fruit, or he buys veg, or he buys both. So the first one is he buys fruit but not veg, so that's this option. The second one is he doesn't buy fruit but he does buy veg, that's this option. And the third one is he does buy fruit and he does buy veg, that's this option here. And when you've got options at the end of your tree diagram, you add them. So we've got 0.28 and 0.42 and 0.12, and we're going to add them. 8 and 2 is 10, add 2 is 12. 2 add 4 is 6, 7 and 8. So it's 0.82. 0.82 is my answer.